Hey guys, Trapper John coming at another Diablo 4 video. Okay, so in this video we're gonna get right into it. I'm tired. I don't think I'm gonna be able to grind enough to hit level 100 before I actually stop playing Diablo and go check out Path of Exile for the next league. And I kind of give you my thoughts on it because at the current time frame, I am kind of the representation of the casual player. I mean, we're talking. I had the worst league start possible, and I probably have only played maybe 2 to 3 hours on average every night. I do grind dungeons often. I did my renown already. So I've accomplished a lot of things. However, this is still my first character. I've not made it 100 on a single character. And we are now looking at basically, what is this? The game launched on June 6th. We're in August 16th, so what is that? 2 months? 2 months and like a week. And this is as far as I've made it. Now, generally speaking, these seasons are about 3 months long. So there's no shot with Path of Exile League starting on Sunday or Friday and me gonna play that I'm gonna hit level 100. And I wanna talk about it while running some dungeons and just talking about in general, like the feel and exactly how you as a viewer should have maybe gotten to a certain point or how far you've gotten. I'd also love to hear some feedback. Like, how far are you guys? Have you guys had multiple level 100 characters? Are you in the same boat as me? Did you stop at level 80? Like, I want to know. I want that feedback because I want to be able to translate it and give it back to the Diablo developers. So stay tuned. Hopefully enjoy this video. All right, so unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to make it anywhere near level 100 in Diablo 4, at least on season 1. And a lot of people I know that was their goal. I know a lot of people who hit level 100 and then immediately dropped the game and haven't picked it up since then. And I have a few other friends who got to 100, kind of stopped playing, and then came back to help me out a little bit, but they just don't have any motivation to keep playing. So that leads me to ask the question. Do we need to make it to level 100 to feel like we have completed or succeeded in the game? I'm going to go ahead and answer from my perspective on this question, but definitely leave a comment down below on what your perspective is from that question. I don't believe you need to hit level 100 on any game. I don't think that it makes any sense to waste time or overextend yourself time-wise, so to speak, and like time management-wise, to hit level 100 or max out a character. The reason why I say this is because I have played many ARPG games and I don't know that I've ever hit the max level on any of them. Does that mean I'm a bad gamer? I mean, it could mean that I'm not necessarily the best or most skilled gamer, sure. But at the same time, it's the games don't have enough content and enough stuff going on in them to keep me interested for that period of time. So then that makes it pretty hard for me when to continue. Like right now, we're looking at I'm level 86 here, and we're gonna run a couple of dungeons tonight as we're recording some videos to get ready and prepped up here. But I will probably make it maybe to 87 if I'm lucky. I mean, realistically, I might make it to 87 tonight because the XP gain, it's a slog. It's a very long slog of a grind to get the XP to get to level 100. And that's okay. Like, that is 100% okay. I don't think that's actually a pitfall from Diablo. Like, I think that was actually kind of intentional. And the simple fact that it does take so long, I think that's more of a positive than a negative. For example, I know you guys probably get tired of hearing me say it, but when I compare this to Path of Exile, you almost never see a lot of basic players or the casual like players like myself and like a lot of you guys and my viewers never hit level 100. Why? Because one, in Path of Exile, you lose XP every time you die, which then that sets you back every single time. Like, you can lose an entire 2 or 3 maps of XP off of one death. So that'll set you back really quickly, for one. So there's that, as well as you just don't need to. Like, you get to a certain point when you're like, okay, yeah, I beat the bosses, I didn't have to go to 100, and now I don't really know what else to do, so I'm gonna start a new character and check out this other build. And that's where Path of Exile incentivizes you to do that, because you can achieve the end goal aspect of like completionist, at least. Like, you know, you want to beat the bosses, you want to do the main end game. You can do so on Path of Exile without being a max level. Now, is it harder? Absolutely. I don't think anyone would ever say it's not hard to do. but you could totally do it, and that incentivizes you to get it done a little bit earlier, so that way you're not stuck in like my lull. I could go try to do the Lilith right now, and I'm gonna die almost instantly. Like, I need to be level 100 and I need to have min-maxed gear. And that's another thing that's kind of a deterrent, and why I don't think I'm gonna make it to 100 is simply for the fact of I don't have enough gold to min-max my gear, so I can't run higher tier sigils right now until I can get some more life on my build. Right now I have more than enough damage on this build. I am hitting up way high with friends and destroying things with my damage. However, if I get touched, I die. So that is the problem, right? Like, you can't, like, that's not a fair trade-off. And the only way to do that is to get a little bit more life on my gear, get better gear, which is helpful too. But the gear drops are so infrequent as far as like an upgrade is concerned, or as far as like, oh, hey, this is actually a viable, usable piece of gear. And I do believe this is by design. I don't think this was unintentional. I think Blizzard knew what they were doing when they created this, because they knew they wanted to make it a very grinding game, right? They wanted to make sure that people would try to play for the entire 3 months of the season versus the 6 weeks, which is pretty standard, pretty typical for a lot of those ARPG games out there. So I do think it was intentional, but unfortunately, I think in my case, it kind of backfired a little bit, because I'm not interested. My problem is you know what, like at some point in time, I roll my ROI. Like, am I having fun? I mean, I kinda am, but it's not like I could be doing horribly in another game right now and probably still be having just as much fun. So why would I obsess and really like stay with this one and keep progressing if the amount of enjoyment, or dopamine, so to speak, isn't really very high, and I could do and replicate that same feeling on multiple other games? Why not go play them? And I think that's where a lot of people are also coming into thinking when they're jumping ship here. But I know a lot of people, and a lot of other people, because I've had to help a lot, this is their first introduction to Diablo, and they thought it would be more. Or some of them are casual, like super casual. I was fortunate. I talked to a guy on our Discord server. What was it? It was Monday night, I think. Monday night, I talked to him for about 30-45 minutes. And he was someone who, he was telling me, he's like, I got a family, I got 3 kids, I got the wife, the wife doesn't work, she's stay-at-home mom, I got to do this, this, and this. He's like, but I really enjoy just getting to play just a few hours of Diablo, and it's great. But at the same time, when I was talking to him, he's literally playing like maybe 4 hours a week. So he's not even made it to level 50, and season's about to reset. So there's definitely going to be a conflict of interest, so to speak, on how casual friendly this game is versus how what's a good word for it? You can't beat the game without putting in a very significant amount of time and or energy every season. I think that's the best way to put it, because right now, as it stands, basically the Uber Lilith is going to be the end game. You've completed the game once you can beat her, and that requires a level 100 character and pretty much decent min-maxed gear. Not perfectly min-maxed, but at least decently. Now, there are some cheeses out there to beat it easier, but I mean straight up, you're gonna actually legitimately beat the Uber Lilith with the mechanics intended. That in itself is definitely going to take a massive time investment, which I think is a kind of a put off. I don't know that I really like how much time it has to be involved to do Uber Lilith. Like, when you look at other games, they don't make it like that, as far as like that's how you complete your objective, or at least they don't make it seem like that's how it is, right? You don't feel that that little like, okay, well, this is great, I guess, like, and that's kind of where we're at. So I think there's room for improvement there that'll help a lot, but it's because of those little things that I myself won't even hit level 100, because I'm not motivated to want to push hard to get there. There's no reward. The end game, like I said, it's kind of mid, right? Like, it's mid. It can definitely be a lot better. And actually, they're doing the the Diablo 3, the public beta test right now. And that's going really well. I've seen people play it already and that are having loads of fun. And that's on a game that's how old? And Diablo 4 is kind of just like chilling. Now, there are a lot of statistics out there that make it seem like Diablo 4 is dead and no one's playing it, or whatever the case may be. That is very untrue. If you look at the statistics for actually how many concurrent players they have, or how many they're averaging, whatever the case may be, or however you interpret it, I guess really is the way to put it there. There are a lot of people playing Diablo 4. The thing is we just don't see it as much because a lot of people don't actually consume content, right? A lot of people will buy a video game and just play a video game. They won't use a YouTube video. It won't dawn on them that, hey, I should do this or that, or I should see if there's some way to do this. In today's day and age, like, it's not uncommon to have someone who's just like, yeah, I just want to press buttons and do things, it's fine, and not even actually consume any of our content. I know a lot of people, like, for example, my coworkers, I got a couple of them that are gamers. They've never once watched a content creator. Why? Because they don't want to. Like, in their eyes, they want to just play the game as they think the developer intended it and call it a day. So it's that kind of mentality too that comes into play here, because the game obviously isn't dead, because there's a crap ton of people playing it. They're still making a fortune off this game, by the way. But at the same time, you don't hear about, like, okay, well, the servers are busy, or, oh yeah, there is a crap ton of people playing, and that's because those types of statistics aren't really out there. And I think that plays into, again, with the whole talking about, okay, well, what incentivizes me to play and will have fun, and, you know, makes me want to grind to 100 and do all the things. Transparency helps. Transparency definitely helps. Like, let us know those types of information instead of having to have other people do some digging and make an article on it that you read, and then at that point it's kind of like a half-truth, right? Because they could have done a research, but it could also be tailored to the result they're looking for. So there's always that argument. So, but if the information came from Blizzard and they're very transparent about it, then that would be totally understandable at that point, right? But yeah, anyways, I digress. I kind of represent that casual gamer, and I just don't see any shot on me getting to 100 at the current state of the game. Not only time constraint, but let's not even just say time constraint, it just want. I don't have any desire to, like, that just took 9 potions to get me back up to full health with poison, and this is maxed. This maxed for my level. Like, come on, like, that stuff like that should not be anything that I'm getting affected by right now, like even in the slightest. That should just be, oh, oops, this is an instant fix. And they're not doing it. And I think that's kind of de-incentivizing me even more, right? Because who wants to play a game and struggle at the end when it's a video game? I think a lot of people forget that, hey, we're playing a video game to have fun. So as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters, right? And I think a lot of people kind of lose sight of that when they look at these games. They take them a little further than that, or they think they have a little bit more depth to them, so to speak, right? As far as what they can achieve, and that's not always the case. So definitely make sure you take that into consideration with everything else that you may or may not be doing. So okay, they're both up here, boom, boom. But yeah, as you can see here, well, I may hit 87 tonight. I might just barely, which means I could probably hit level 88. We might make level 90 before League start on Path of Exile. But who knows? Because honestly, this is getting kind of boring too. I don't know. Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Where are you at? How far did you make it? Did you make it to 100? Did you not make it to 100? How are you feeling about the game right now? Are you enjoying it? Are you cool with running it? Are you okay with waiting a little while for the next season to get some major updates? Like, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your guys' feedback and how you are feeling as well. Not just me, right? I'd like to try to include everyone out there and everyone else's opinion. But yeah, let me know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.